match of the day. Serena Williams, she had to fight back from a set down in her first 2 rounds, but today against Shelby Rogers, she came out the gate firing.
Yeah, Serena just took over and kind of shocked Shelby a bit with the pace, the depth, the power. But right here is where Shelby Rogers turned it around, down love 30 on her serve, a set and 4 all. And she comes up with a couple of big ones and then plays well from the ground to hold her serve. And then right here, she started making some adjustments, playing for positioning on this shot. That pass was huge, giving her the advantage. And she was able to break to take that second set. Complete shocker. All of a sudden, we're into a third. And right here is where Serena kept trying to push forward like a champion does. She kept holding her serve until the end. But Shelby just went toe-to-toe and stayed with her. Came up with some really nice changes of pace. I thought that made the biggest difference. Went to the slice a few times, did a drop shot, and it kept throwing Serena off balance. And right here, Shelby, again, using the kick serve to full effect.
Shelby really improved her serves throughout this match. Serena says good match. And for Shelby, into her first semifinal in 4 years. Let's hear from her.
Every kid's dream when they're, growing up, watching her play, and then to be able to do something like that. Weird circumstances, weird setting, but, a win is a win, and I know we're all just happy to be back playing, and it's great to see everyone fit and playing well.
Late in that second set, it looked like you changed your pace a little bit. Was that the key, or what was the key in this win?
Yeah, definitely a little overwhelmed in the first with the pace and the, the heavy spin and the serve for sure. So I just tried to make a few more balls, and make one more, run down a few more, and then serve was a struggle for me today, but second serve came through when I needed it, and then match point made a first serve, so that's all that matters, I guess.
I have only good things to take. I can play a lot better. I think that's the most thing that I can take, and it's good. It's good to know that I can play a lot better.
All right, let's start with Serena. Got 3 matches in, 9 total sets. Paul, what does she take away?
Look, I think she's playing fine. I don't think she did anything terribly wrong today. She had an average first match. The match yesterday was, I thought, tremendous from both Venus and Serena. And today she started off great, and I give Shelby an incredible amount of credit to be able to turn things around. She did a really good job, but I don't think Serena did much wrong.
Yeah, I think she can take a lot of positives away from it. I'm sure this is disappointing because she came out so strong in that first set, and it looked like she was kind of going to take it in 2 when you looked at where she was in that second set. But I think for me, whenever Venus and Serena have to play each other, it's always tough, especially when it's in the earlier rounds. It's tough for either one of them to kind of recover enough to play their best in subsequent matches. In this case, I think that was partly a factor. Emotionally, physically, what it takes out of you, those type of matches for them. But I also think the biggest factor was Shelby Rogers, who matched Serena on the serve. She can hit the kick just like Serena and used it beautifully at some key moments. And then she also made adjustments, and that was what I was most impressed with. She didn't just keep going hard. She could go toe-to-toe from the pace department, but she didn't stay with that game plan. She mixed it up just enough, then went back to the pace, and I think it kept Serena off balance enough for her to come through in that tiebreak. She was impressive today.
Heck of a story for Shelby Rogers. I remember she came to our Tennis Channel set in Charleston last year in tears after winning her first match back after 18 months off, and told us there was a few months where she didn't know whether she was going to be able to play again. What was the key moment for her in this match today against Serena?
Well, look, it's been a long road back for Shelby, but today was an interesting start. She showed such great composure, so easy to play Serena Williams. It get blown out in the first set. And then right here is where things changed. Down a set and 4 all, love 30. She held serve here, and like you said, Chenda, what happened was she started to believe. She started throwing in some changes of pace, started doing things a little bit differently. But I think the biggest component of this was the ability to weather that storm in the first set. It's 6-1. 4-4, love 30 against the all-time great Serena Williams, and still hold your composure. To me, it was a mental hurdle for her. And then when she got through that second set, I think she started to feel like, hey, I'm in there. I can do this. I can hang in there. So it was a terrific effort from her.
Third top 10 win, and she is now in the live rankings back in the top 100. So one American into the semifinals. 4 more were in action. That's the most in the WTA since 2006. Shout out Shanae Perry and Laura Granville. One of those, Jen Brady, taking on Marie Boskova, and Brady hasn't lost a set all tournament.
And not lost a set. She's only lost 11 games in 3 matches, and she's been unbelievable playing power tennis. And today was no different. She won almost 60% of the return points, and many of them were just like this. Powerful tennis, controlling the tempo of the rally, getting up inside the baseline, hitting big power ground strokes with the ability to change direction at will. Look at that inside-out forehand. She looks so comfortable this week and really hasn't been threatened at all. To watch her play this kind of tennis, to me, says she's incredibly confident and incredibly comfortable. Today, another comprehensive victory.
Match took 64 minutes, her 3rd career WTA semifinal, and back up to 45 in the world. That's tied for a career high. And the match you just saw, Ons Jabeur taking on Coco Gauff, started quickly for the Tunisian.
This is just a match of frustration at the beginning for Coco Gauff. She's not used to playing anyone that slices and dices like this. Coco could not get any rhythm. Jabeur did a great job coming forward when she needed to, using slices. It was just one of those days. It was really tough for the 16-year-old, but Coco did what she's done and showed us since we've seen her play at the start of her career. She hangs in there. She fights down 6-4, 4-2 break points. You blink your eye, and then all of a sudden, about 3 seconds later, she's got set point to square it up, and there she goes. It was an amazing effort to watch someone of 16 years of age have this kind of composure. And just more of the same in the 3rd set. She's moving incredibly well, playing great defense, finding ways to get on offense. Look at the little talent there. Left hand flick angle. And by this point, I felt like Jabeur's will was broken and also a little bit of fatigue. That usually doesn't come about when you're playing a 16-year-old. She was amazing out there today.
Won 10 of the last 11 games. She's into the Final 4. Let's hear from Coco Gauff.
I don't really know. I think I just got thrown momentum back. I don't even know what happened that match. I don't even know. Sorry.
It's okay. Jabeur is a unique player in that she's often changing pace.
Yeah.
Is that tough to handle?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like my last 2 opponents were big hitters and big, really flat balls. So coming in playing somebody who's a little bit more crafty was definitely difficult, and it was hard to kind of maintain a rhythm on her just because she's always changing up the ball height and the ball speeds. But I'm glad that I was able to kind of figure out in the 3rd.
Oh, she figured it out all right. Down a set in 4-2. Here is our lineup for semifinal Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on Tennis Channel. Shelby Rogers taking on Jill Teichman, and then it's Jenny Brady and Coco Gauff, followed by Tennis Channel Live. Let's talk a little bit more about Coco and what she just said, Chanda. The fact that she was able to figure it out. Yeah, we talk about how she has power and touch. How about the brains? I mean, how smart is Coco being able to figure out someone she had never played before?
Yeah, I think, we kind of keep saying it, but for me, that's one of the more impressive things. We talked about her will and just her desire when she's under pressure, how she comes through with some of her best tennis. But I think figuring this stuff out in real time when she has not been in these situations, she hasn't played these different variety of opponents, certainly not at this level, and to kind of work through it, sometimes that can take a few matches. Sometimes you need some losses like this, Paul, to kind of get it. And she just seems to be figuring it out in front of our eyes, and it's even more impressive.
Yeah, to see her figure stuff out in real time on the court without having to go through the pain and agony of a loss and deal with the frustration, to problem solve under pressure is just amazing for a 16-year-old. And I got to give props to Chanda. Before I walked in to call this match, she said, this is going to be challenging for Coco. She's played 2 really big hitters, and at the beginning, when she plays Jabeur, the ability to change the pace is going to be tricky. So, Chanda, well done. Good call. I'll ride on your coattails for that one. But
You've had that one too, Paul.
But to see Coco do that really in real time, she didn't have to suffer the loss. She gets down in the match, and halfway through, she's able to process these things and find her way out of it. That is an incredible talent.